Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk und wie jedes Mal, wenn es mir möglich ist, bin ich bei Sirona und der Howard wird uns jetzt das neueste Update geben. Sie haben eine neue News rausgehabt, der Letter to Shareholder, und ich habe einen Konflikt of Interest, bin Aktionär des Unternehmens und ja, ein großer mittlerweile, ich glaube ich habe jetzt schon relativ viele Aktien und ich bin jetzt gespannt, was er uns Neues präsentiert, beziehungsweise gehen wir durch diese Pressemeldung. Howard, thank you to have time. I said in my German introduction that I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder. I bought in, I think, nearly in all the private placements in the last 2 years. I get more shares. I still have all of my shares, then I'm a strong believer in the product itself. And this week, are you coming up with a letter to shareholder?
Yes.
And we know exactly the problem what we have in the past, that the expectation was really high,
yes.
And then for some reason you cannot deliver at this high expectation, and that's the reason now why we are sitting in this terrible share price situation.
Yes.
But I hope we see the lights on the end of the tunnels, and you're coming up with a press release this week, letter to shareholder. So maybe we can through this to this letter of shareholder, and can talk a little bit. So first is, and I think this is the critical thing, is clinical trials. I think this is the major driver for or what everybody or your potential partner waiting for.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're definitely overdue for a shareholder update. We've been very, very busy, and it's certainly time for the shareholders to learn what we've been up to. Yes, definitely our skin lightening agent TFC 1067 was a tremendous interest to the shareholders. There was a time there we believe we were going to complete a transaction that unfortunately didn't occur. So we've gone on to fill in the final data that all the cosmetic companies were most interested in, and that's actually a human clinical trial.
Mm-hmm.
So that trial is currently underway. It's underway in North Carolina, led by a leading dermatologist, well known to all the big cosmetic companies.
Mm-hmm.
So that trial actually began on November 26th. It's a 12-week trial. It's a double-blinded trial to prove the safety and efficacy of TFC 1067 on patients with melasma, and also to show the overall skin tone lightening effect. This study will end in late February, and we expect to receive a report from the trial center in about 1 to 2 weeks from that date.
Mm-hmm. So that means mid of March you should get this data.
Actually, we'll sooner than that, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, and everybody waiting for this clinical trial?
Yeah, so we've made it known to all the companies that we've been in contact with, and we've contacted new companies since to let them know that the trial is underway and to find out which companies are specifically interested in receiving the report. So we have a number of companies, a significant number of companies that we've got the contacts established, they know about our product, and they're specifically waiting to see this report.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one company in particular which we made the most progress with. It's a large U.S. cosmetic company, and they have spent significant time and resources evaluating selling TFC 1067. You know, they've done a lot of research and doing a lot of their own time and resources on this project. You know, in November, Geraldine, our Chief Scientific Officer, and I traveled and met with them and their team and their founders, and were able to have extensive discussions with them regarding the technology, its promise, and details about the trial. So we've got a nice audience awaiting this result, and this is fortunately well underway, and we're hearing positive reports about the progress of it.
Yeah. But in the old days, you're looking, and I come now to license agreements, you look only that you have a world license on one company.
Yes.
This time you speak with several companies and not only for one license around the globe. You separate this now
Yes.
more globally.
So we're learning more and more about the market, the cosmetic companies, and how they operate in their various markets. So what we've done is we found a leading companies for North American and European markets. And so we focus on that and we'll segregate the licensing opportunity to their markets. We also like to segregate out the Asian markets, and in particular China. There's enormous opportunities with a different group of companies.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to maximize the commercial opportunity and return to Sirona and Sirona's shareholders, it's our goal to segregate the licensing opportunities.
Mm-hmm. I come into a tough question, but I must ask this. Everybody waiting for a license.
Yes.
Can we expect 2019 a license?
2019, I think, is going to be a very good year for Sirona.
Okay, it's a good answer.
The final bit of data, and we are a research and drug discovery company, and not just drugs, but also cosmetics and cosmeceuticals. And there's a threshold at which companies will want to look at your technology and consider partnering. And unfortunately, that human clinical data is a key threshold for the majority of companies. Although we had earmarked a company that was interested in an earlier stage, unfortunately the transaction didn't happen, not through an issue with our technology. So we've gone that step further, and we're completing this. We've got this human trial underway. And there was a lot of work to prepare for that. We had to do safety studies. We had to do actually human patch studies to prove that it was safe to use. We had to get a formulation, a toxicologist approval, and we've done all that. And we're now well underway on the trial.
One really big question is, license deal is one thing, but normally so license deals have also a revenue component when they start the product launch and so on. So what is really a realistic time frame from the time when you sign a license agreement that the product is really on the market? What is a realistic time frame?
Well, it depends on the region you're looking at. For the North American market, where it could be somewhere between 1 year to 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fortunately, we're looking for upfront and milestone payments, so we're not going to be dependent upon that royalty stream immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The royalty stream is just the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
Although the upfront payments and royalty streams we anticipate will be significant, obviously. In the Asian markets, that timeline may be shorter.
Okay.
We have to meet with the various issues in the local markets.
But in general, we can say 18 months, then the product should be in the market.
That would be the plan.
So, and then this is a big difference between cosmetics and I would say when you have a drug.
Yes, yeah. There's a much shorter timeline and a much shorter cost.
Yeah.
We've done a large amount of the work, but what a company will need to do is they want to fine-tune a formulation that meets their own product line. They'll need to do another assay, another clinical trial, a quick clinical trial, just to prove that their new formulation is effective, so that they can make product claims. And then there's marketing, packaging. There's a number of things a company has to do to put a product on the shelf. Yeah. But the companies we're talking to, that's what they do.
Yeah. Okay, this is the skin liner. You have also a deal with Wanbang. How it looks like Wanbang?
I should just say about the skin line. We didn't talk about the Chinese market.
Yeah, that's right. But Chinese market, one question what's coming to mind is the skin of Asian people are the same like the skin of a European?
No. So what we've done, the Asian skin type is tends to be more sensitive. So you have to worry about product sensitivity. More prone to hyperpigmentation. So there's actually a more a demand for a product to deal with hyperpigmentation changes. So there is some differences, and there is some challenges that may be a little harder to treat. So
the clinical trial, what you do now, is also cover this portion?
It's not specifically designed. We're not specifically designed to a certain ethnic skin type. And the whole skin type is a complex area where there's different issues according to different genetic factors. And so what we've done is that we've looked at the Chinese market, and we're really excited about that. You know, it's estimated to be growing to $4 billion a year in 2020. It's a rapidly growing market, and so we've actually have a guy, a consultant on the ground. He's a Canadian. He's been working there for pretty well on the ground 5 months. And he's met with multiple cosmetic companies, distributors, manufacturers to figure out how to best penetrate the market. And we've isolated out a distributor who has tremendous interest in their technology. And we signed a memorandum of understanding to work together. So our goal is to distribute our product to more than one company. And with the help of the distributor to understand the local markets and how to bring a product to the consumers. So we've done a lot of work with this, and they've actually started their own clinical trial. So this is a second clinical trial. It's a 60-person trial spread out over 3 sites, and they're specifically looking at how our product works on people locally for a skin lightening effect and treatment of hyperpigmentation. And we're also using it to compare it to the competitors. This is the data that a local company would like to see in order to make a decision about actually selling our product and to prove that it's safe and effective.
But to summarize the skin light, it looks like, so you have now 2 clinical trials running.
Yes.
And for one, you should get the information mid of March, the big one, and you have a separate one running in China for this local market.
Yep.
Yes. License agreements are separate now, not only working on one global license agreement, so separately for these areas. China for sure is, I think, a huge market, especially skin lighter is. We as a European, we work in the other way. We want the darker skin, not the lighter skin. In Asia is a different thing. When it comes to licensing, and this I know it's a guess. And also to summarize is, if you're coming up with a license, it takes up to 12 to 18 months before the product is launched. After a license agreement.
Well, we're working on that. I mean, we're hoping that we can keep that as a short turnaround. We're working with the distributor to see what the needs of the cosmetic companies are, to look about manufacturing issues, formulation issues. We've been doing due diligence on them and the Chinese market, and we're going to be attending trade shows. There's one in February in China, which we'll be attending with our distributor partner, and they're planning a trip in April to see our lab and so we can fully understand both companies and the opportunities, and actually solidify an agreement of how to work together. And then we'll have a better idea on the timelines. It's a bit early to stage right now.
And it's always better don't raise too high the expectation. So that's the skin lighter stuff. But China brings me up to Wanbang itself. And Wanbang is a drug, so it's a total different timeline. It has nothing to do with cosmetics.
That's right.
So how the joint venture with Wanbang is
well, that joint, everything is proceeding. We have an excellent relationship with them. Now, in the past, we haven't always coordinated our news release in the manner between the 2 companies, and we realized that there was a shortcoming, and so we are now making sure that our news releases are jointly released in regards to TFC 039, and so we're having a meeting with them shortly, and we anticipate an announcement following that meeting to give the progress of their China FDA testing. So I can't give you specific details because we want this to be a joint release, but I can tell you that we're pleased with how things are going and that we'll have some more news shortly.
Okay. So that means we have now 3 news source. One is this clinical trial. Then we have license for the skin lighter on both sides, so China and rest of the world, I would say. And then we have Wanbang.
Yes.
So these are 4 news sources what we should see in 2019.
There's the final area, which is the use of TFC 039 in the diabetic companion animals. So that's progressing.
So that's mean, and you said in the beginning that 2019 can be really outstanding year for for Sirona.
Yes, we're hoping to complete multiple transactions, and that's the advantage with Sirona has by having a platform technology. And we believe 2019, a lot of this is our hard work is going to show positive.
I hope. As a shareholder, I hope.
Yes.
Are any other news what the people must know?
Well, I think that covers the main topics.
Perfect. War ein Update an Sirona. Hat es ja selber gesagt, 2019 wird oder sollte das Jahr werden, das extrem wichtig ist für das Unternehmen. Es kommen viele Dinge zusammen und der größte Punkt ist diese Clinical Trials. Und wie es auch in der Pressemeldung steht, es gibt 2 Clinical Trials. Eine ist für den Rest of the Welt und das andere ist China. Und für den Rest of the Welt sollte quasi Mitte März vorliegen die Ergebnisse und scheinbar warten die Kosmetikunternehmen gerade darauf, was dort bei diesen Clinical Trials rauskommt. Und das ist eigentlich die ganze Verhandlungen über eine Lizenzierung passiert nach diesen Tests. Was auch noch spannend war, China, die machen ihre eigenen. Warum? Weil Asiaten andere Haut haben wie wir und dadurch auch anders darauf reagieren können und dadurch macht deren Partner, was sie dort haben, eigene Tests und die wollen auch im April dann, wie es in der Pressemeldung steht oder wie er gesagt hat, Paris besuchen, wo ein Forschungslabor ist. Das heißt, ich kann mir vorstellen, dass danach Diskussionen stattfinden werden über die Lizenzierung. Wir warten alle auf eine Lizenzierung, das ist der Major-Punkt. Ich glaube, wir werden es im Aktienkurs vorher sehen, wenn sowas kurz bevorsteht, weil warum? Da werden immer mehr Leute dann involviert bei so einem Lizenzierungsstil und da kommen auf einmal dann Käufer her, wo man es nie mit gerechnet haben. Es ist eine spannende Story, wir wissen, es hat verdammt lang gedauert, aber ich hoffe, es kommt jetzt 2019 zum Ende und dann kann die Company natürlich ganz anders agieren, denn sie haben noch so viele Produkte in der Pipeline. Schauen Sie nochmal die alten Videos an, das ist eigentlich wirklich das Spannende dran. Aber vorher muss man mal aus diesem Teufelskreis rauskommen und das kann nur meines Erachtens mit einer Lizenzierung passieren und ich hoffe, wie er es zum Schluss auch gesagt haben, dass er mehrere Lizenzierungsdeals 2019 hat. Das war es, ein Update von Sirona Biochem im Jänner 2019. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Thank you.